Eric Holder has been recorded telling people that it's his intention to brainwash the public about guns, to make them very afraid. Now, this next person we're talking to, Derek Poe of Golden Triangle Tactical in Beaumont, Texas, had that happen to him. In his store, in a mall, he had his gun taken away from him because people said they were terrified. They were afraid they were going to die just by seeing someone hold a gun. But this is also a case of First Amendment protection, because as he moved to his new location and was advertising his store opening, he had that shut down in a manner similar to what happened to the InfoWars crew in Dallas. So this is both the First and the Second Amendment. We are not going to be put in the closet either as gun owners or as protesters. We have a right to be out in public to engage in these legal, constitutionally protected activities, and we want to talk to him and find out what happened in Houston. Now, you're moving locations from a mall, and this is your grand opening at the new location. Tell us why you left the mall.
We left the mall right after they put the 30-06 sign up on the door. We mainly left, we're not going to subject our employees and all our customers to unsafe working environment, which is what a gun-free zone is, which is what the mall became.
Now, you had been hassled by the mall back in December 28th when they arrested you or gave you, actually, they confiscated your gun, didn't they? The police did.
They didn't arrest me at the time, but they did confiscate my gun. They didn't issue a citation, nothing. All they did was stole my firearm.
They said that you were carrying it in a manner calculated to alarm. You had it slung over your back, as you report?
Right, yeah, slung over my back, the barrel facing down. I even had items in my hand. So it's very clear and apparent that I wasn't going to do anything illegal, and I was wearing my work uniform for a tactical store in that very mall. Right.
And so you've got a store in the mall. You're walking legally, openly carrying a rifle that's slung over your back, and yet because some witnesses say that they are terrified, one of them said they thought they were going to die. So they called the police, and the police took your weapon, and then the mall put up signs prohibiting gun carry. Is that what you're saying with the 30-06 sign?
That's what they put up a 30-06 sign like a week later.
Mm-hmm. So you decide that you're going to. So you decide that you're going to move to a location outside of the mall. You had your grand opening this last weekend, and you had somebody standing out by the road, as we see businesses doing all the time, with a sign waving to the location. In this particular instance, the guy was wearing a banana suit, and he had an AK-47 slung over his shoulder, which is legal.
Right, yeah. And we put him in a banana suit, figured he'd look a little bit less alarming this time, you know.
Right. I don't know. Evidently, people were afraid of that as well, or the police were hassling it. Now, in between these two incidents, between the time that you had the incident at the mall and between this incident with your grand opening this weekend, there was an open carry rally in Beaumont. Tell us about that.
Yeah, there's one actually a week ago after this open carry event, and it's funny because the cops were pretty mad at why he should be open carrying, and that was one of the arguments I was making when I walked down there to help out my employee who was getting illegally detained. I said, hey, y'all helped us open carry a week ago, you know, and the cop was basically saying that's different. That's because we had police there, and if people just open carry, it'd be like Somalia, is what he told me.
Well, you know, what we saw when we went to an open carry rally at the Alamo in San Antonio was that at the rally, when there was about 1,000 people there openly carrying, legally carrying firearms strapped over their back, the police stood their distance. They took pictures of everybody constantly, but they didn't harass anybody. But as soon as it dwindled down to just a few people left, most of the people had gone home, they started hassling gun owners again for open carry that is legal in Texas.
Right.
Yeah, it's also what we've seen here with this limitation of people standing off of the road. I don't know what the laws there are in Beaumont, but we've had a lot of problems in Dallas as well. We were up there protesting, the InfoWars crew was protesting the fact that they were trying to shut down free speech centered around the JFK 50th anniversary of the JFK assassination. They didn't want people really talking about it outside of their official dog and pony show, so they had a lot of free speech limitations that were based on this idea that you're going to distract traffic. And now Dallas has kind of doubled down on that. They now have a 75-foot setback from the road. Is your store even 75 feet back from the road?
No, it's right along the main highway.
Yeah, so you probably, in many cases, people, in a practical manner, they don't have that much of a setback anyway. But it's not any more distracting to have somebody standing out in front of a store waving a sign that the store is having a special or grand opening.
They do it all the time. Several companies do it. There's a place called Liberty Tax. That's woman dress Statue of Liberty. It does it. Mm-hmm. They have a mattress company that does it. Little Caesars, of course, does it. We did it. And what happened with us, they cited us saying we broke a city violation for we're soliciting business alongside the road.
Yeah, so it's selectively enforced. And we see this in places like Dallas. They typically only selectively enforce these setbacks with people who are alongside the road. They typically only enforce that when it's something that is politically unpopular. And that would be free speech protesting of something political, or if somebody is exercising their Second Amendment rights openly. That's typically what we're seeing. Is that what you're seeing?
Me, some of our people I thought were proponents of the Second Amendment have even been coming after me. I've been getting it from both sides. People that are proponents say, "Yeah, well, you're going to ruin it for the rest of us," and blah blah blah. It's like, ruin it for the rest of us? How? It's already ruined for the rest of us. They say we can open carry, but when we do, this happens. How have I ruined it for anyone?
I couldn't disagree with that attitude more. We have to get in their face. We have to stand up for our civil liberties. As Alex Jones has pointed out many times, this is like Rosa Parks refusing to get in the back of the bus. And this is like somebody criticizing you, a Second Amendment supporter, a gun owner, criticizing you for doing this, for openly exercising your rights. If we don't push back against this, we are going to lose our rights. We've already got people who, I think many of these people who reported this were probably deathly afraid of seeing somebody with a gun, because the media and the government has been calculatedly reporting this in a manner to cause alarm, which is what they charged you with, carrying your firearm in a manner to cause alarm. They're reporting about firearms in a manner to cause alarm. So we have to push back against that. We have to exercise our rights, or we're going to lose them.
Exactly. I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't see how someone could be, if someone's carrying a non-alarming manner and people call, how the cops can arrest. If I see someone walking down the road with a pit bull, I don't necessarily like pit bulls, but I ain't going to call the police on them. And if I do, I doubt the cops will infringe on their liberties. That's their right to have that kind of breed of dog. It should go the same way with a firearm. If somebody pisses their pants every time they see a gun, that's not the gun owner's problem. That's theirs. And maybe they should seek counseling. Yeah,
exactly. Well, good luck on your fight there. We hope to hear from you and find out how this is resolved. It's truly amazing when we see the police and municipalities shutting down not only the First Amendment, but also the Second Amendment. And we need to understand, some people who are conservatives don't like to see protesters out on the street. And some people who are protesting on the left don't like to see people carrying firearms. We need to understand that we either get all of our freedoms recognized by the government, or we'll have none of them recognized. And this is a good example of that, this particular case of yours.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for talking to us. Good luck with your case. Derek Poe, Golden Triangle Tactical out of Beaumont, Texas. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
Well, that's exactly what they want to do. They want to try to get people afraid of guns by making it extremely rare to see anyone with a gun. They want gun owners in the closet. Well, you know what? We need to come out of the closet. We need to stand up for our constitutional rights. We need to proudly display that. And we're going to be covering this story as well as others like it at InfoWars. If you want to continue to follow the story, if you want to support the operation, get a subscription to Prison Planet TV. You can share it with up to 10 other people at the same time. It's a great way to keep abreast of what's happening, to get news that other people are not going to cover, and to inform your friends and family about these vital, important issues. If they take away the Second Amendment, they will take away the First Amendment, and they're doing both. Well, that's it for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Tune in to PrisonPlanet.tv for an extended broadcast.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.
The InfoWars crew absolutely loves coffee because we love being awake. And I am somewhat of a connoisseur of coffee. So many times you go to a restaurant or even to a coffee shop and the coffee tastes like garbage. And in all the different coffees I've tried, my favorite is grown in the high mountains, in shade, Arabica, on the border with Guatemala in southern Mexico by the Chiapas farmers. I make sure we've done the research. I make sure it's the very best product that we can offer you when I put my name on it. And I believe, and it's my taste, so you may differ, that this is the best coffee in the world from southern Mexico. Wake Up America Patriot Blend, 100% organic, Arabica shade grown. And then we have the Immune Support, 100% organic coffee, infused with a special type of mushroom known to boost the immunity.
This coffee is seriously so smooth. I normally have to douse my coffee with cream and sugar and cinnamon and all kinds of tasty treats, but this, I drink this black. It is so good.
Well, that's why I like it, is that it has a kick, it has really good caffeine in it, it has a good clean wake up that lasts for a long time, doesn't give me a headache, but it's so smooth, it's so delicious. Just try it out for yourself. I'm telling you, this is my favorite coffee. We went through a lot of trouble to bring you this. Just try it, and I think you'll be hooked like we are here at InfoWars. Well, folks, find out for yourself and support the information war today. It's all available at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.